right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm going to let people kind of trickle in, but I'll quickly introduce myself as folks arrive. My name's Colin Mayhew, and today you're going to be joining Sherweb, Microsoft, and Efoqus for a discussion about how to drive growth with AI-powered D365 Business Central. So what you may find some stuff that's very new to you. You may find you may get some new context on what you already know about Business Central. And our hope is that you'll come away with some really good ideas on how to make Business Central part of your growth plan. So I know folks are still arriving. So I'll just give everybody a quick view here of the agenda and get a sense of what's to come. As you can see, we are currently in the introduction and housekeeping portion of the conversation. And so let me just introduce you quickly to the team who's going to be speaking with you today. As I mentioned, my name's Colin Mayhew. I'm the D365 sales specialist here at Sherweb. And I work with Stephanie, who is the product manager. She's the wizard behind the curtain here at Sherweb D365. And we're really lucky today to have some wonderful Business Central expertise. We've got Tony from Microsoft. We've got Erik and Lars from Efoqus, two guys who have been at it a very long time, and they're going to be speaking to us today about their experience and some of their customer success as well. So I'm really excited for that. So next we have a poll question. So I thought this might be a good one to kick us off. The question is, how familiar are you with Business Central? So basically, you should see a poll coming up right now. Is everybody seeing the poll? Is that working?
It is.
Oh, excellent. Good. So yeah, let us know how familiar you are with Business Central so that we can see what's going on. I'll give you just a sec to answer that poll question. How familiar are you? Can we move on from the poll? I'm sorry, I'm just not quite I may not know exactly how to do that.
Yes, we can. We are collecting responses.
Still collecting. Now. Okay, great. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't.
No problem. And we're sharing the responses on screen now. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Well, so we've got a pretty familiar audience, so we're going to keep that in mind as we go forth, and we'll try to keep it in context that we're dealing with mostly with folks who know about Business Central. But if you have any questions as we go along, if we're leaving out some important context for you, please let us know in the chat. We'll make sure to add the proper context or follow up with you later on, for sure. Okay. So let me move the slides ahead and we can get started. So we're going to start with the basics, but we won't spend too much time on it because I think everybody's pretty confident on the basics. So as we all know, the Business Central is there to solve problems for our SMB customers, right? And SMB, that can be a pretty broad definition when you're in the Microsoft world. And one of the great things about Business Central is that it scales up and down to satisfy businesses, up to the even hundreds of millions of dollars. We've seen that happen, all the way down to, a 3-person business, a real mom and pop. So it just depends. If you're outgrowing your entry-level accounting systems and you need additional capabilities to get the complete view of the business, not just financials. If you're starting to deal with data silos as your operations get more complex, that's when Business Central starts to make sense, right? So if you're streamlining operations, you want the consolidated view, improving business processes, and allowing you to deliver a better customer experience. and you want to enable digital capabilities in order to adapt to business change. This is where you need to be. So Business Central does it all for SMBs, asterisk, as I'm sure Erik and Lars are going to explain to us a little bit later. But the raw material for any industry, all the different processes that a small to mid-sized business is going to be running, it's all there in Business Central. And I always say it's about an 80-20. 80% of what you need is going to be available out of the box, and then some of that 20% you can achieve in a few different ways. And we're going to hear that a little bit more later. So why would you introduce, why would, say, an MSP or a different kind of IT consultant or a business solution provider, why would you introduce a product like Business Central to your SMB client? And think about SMB clients as a pretty broad category, just, not a giant enterprise, but something in between your average QuickBooks user and your giant enterprise class customers. You want to transform the business operations experience in a way that will translate intangible results for the business in time saved, revenue growth, cost saving, and optimizations. This is the kind of approach you need to take when you're dealing with customers who they're expecting ROI. They want to know that it's not just going to be easier, but the business is actually going to run better and be, in the end, more profitable. So here are some of the processes, as you can see on the slide, that can lead you in that direction. So I will very quickly go through this part, and keep this simple, but help you understand and keep it in perspective why Business Central is growing so much. Partly because the total addressable market is so large, and this is just in Canada. If you're in the States, I don't know, multiply it by 10. I think you'd find that it's about can be even bigger. So the way to think about medium businesses, I think. Oh, here's the slide. Sorry, I had a bit of a click error there. What you'll see here, this top section is a real sweet spot for Business Central, and I'm sure Erik and Lars can tell you a little bit more about that. But what we're seeing is a ton of investment from companies in this medium business sector, and the small and very small businesses are a great on-ramp for Business Central, but a great deal of the services revenue is coming from these medium businesses, and even larger than 200 employees. You can still find a lot of really good fits for Business Central. So the investment trends, as you can see, we're seeing companies grow more and more. We're anticipating 328 million in cloud ERP spending in 2025. I think this bears itself out in the growth that we're seeing. Folks are investing in this, and one trend that I always think it's important to follow is what were very large enterprises adopting 5-10 years ago. It starts to cascade down into the mid-sized businesses once it's been adopted by some of the early adopters, some of the maybe more cutting-edge companies. You'll see those mid-sized and small businesses really take a grip on it. So I'm going to hand this over. I'm going to hand this little bit over to. I'm going to hand this over to Tony, because I've been talking too much, and I always find it's really interesting to hear the very high-level 1,000-foot view from Microsoft, because they've got the best view of anybody on where the market's going, how it's growing. Tony, can you tell us a little bit about how you see folks growing their services, starting with Business Central, and turning that into a broad, profitable business?
Yeah, sure. Colin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So so first of all, thank you for having me here. And for those of you who I don't know, my name is Tony. I'm the cloud solution architect for business application at Microsoft here, especially for Canadian partners. So I was previously on the partner side as well, doing all of those projects myself. So we've seen, so from partner perspective, from project management delivery perspective, Microsoft is a product that you're trying to sell. But when you sell the license, when you're selling the product to your customer, you're also making those professional services revenue. And we've seen, especially in business application area, the ratio is very, very good. We're looking at probably 13 to 1. Basically means if you sell $1 in license revenue, you're basically making $13 in professional services revenue. And if we go to next page, please, Colin. And we're seeing that the trend is very good if you're selling more than just one business application product. If you're selling Business Central or maybe other business application product by itself, you're making maybe just 1 to 13 type of ratio. But if you are combining other applications to your deal, you're approaching to a customer for, I don't know, cross product sales, Business Central, maybe Power Platform, you can make up to 11 times of the revenue that you're making if you're only selling one product. And that's the trend as well. I can give you a sneak peek from Microsoft perspective. This is something I saw this morning, which is the plan for next fiscal year in Microsoft, which literally starts in a month. For fiscal year 24, Microsoft is focusing on those cross-product sales. In SMB, SMC space, it will be Business Central plus Dynamics 365 CE, particularly the sales module. So we're focusing on that. So make sure you also prepare yourself to approach to your customers, try to pitch them the combination between CRM and ERP. All right, next page, please. And today, I'm here to specifically talk to you about the AI piece of the business application. From Microsoft perspective, we call it Copilot. This is the kind of the AI thing that we are embedding into every single Microsoft product. So you have Dynamics 365 Copilot, you will have Microsoft 365 Copilot, Security Copilot, and I like it very much because it's literally like kind of controlling and playing and flying in the plane. You are the pilot. You need a co-pilot who gives you the recommendations and suggestions. But at the end of the day, it's co-pilot, it's not autopilot. So you are still in control. You take all of those great suggestions and you decide what you want to do and you control the directions. And from business application perspective, we have co-pilot features in every single product line. We have some under customer experience, service, supply chain, finance, SMB, as well as low code. We have tons of them already. They're probably in public preview right now. If you haven't kind of get your hands on those previews, definitely take a look at the videos that we posted already to just get a feel of what that is. And today, what I'm going to talk about is the Business Central Copilot, the Viva Sales Copilot, and Customer Service Copilot. So the reason why we're adding all of those Copilot features into business applications is simply because we got the demand. 85% of people are looking for some sort of AI functionalities to make their life easier. And we're also seeing like almost 90% of those people who feel more fulfilled if they can get rid of all of those tedious, time-consuming work. And when it comes to Business Central, if we go to next page, please. The Copilot feature that we added for Business Central is the marketing piece of publishing your products. If you publish your product, you want to put it onto your e-commerce website, you need to make sure you set up everything. You need to come up with all those attractive words to make sure a customer is looking to purchase your product. So that could be time consuming. Sometimes you just need to go into several iterations to find the best words. But now with Business Central, we're adding that. So literally just upload the image and have the AI do the work. And you can also add some personal touches as well if needed. So that will greatly save your time when it comes to preparing your product and putting it onto your e-commerce website to sell. And this one, can we go to the previous page?
Okay. Here we go.
There you go. Can you just play that? Yeah. Awesome.
It's showing up? Okay, good.
I guess we cannot hear the audio.
No. Do we need the audio then? Hang on.
I guess for the sake of time, we can probably skip this. This is
sorry, it's not working.
Yeah, this is available on YouTube already, so everybody can just go to YouTube and search for Business Central Copilot, and you should be able to see this small little demo of the Copilot features within Business Central. It's very nice, very neat. It automatically generate the description for your product, so you can directly use it. And if you don't like the text, you can also kind of change your kind of preference. You can change the tone even to make AI regenerate that description and then just publish it to your e-commerce website. If you're using the Shopify connector, then it will be even easier. But Copilot is not the only feature that we have within Business Central. We've been investing in Business Central, especially the AI portion, for a long time. Other than the Copilot, we have the sales and inventory forecasting, late payment prediction, cash flow analysis, and those are the functions that you can use right now out of box. But with the connection with Agger, if you ever want to build your own kind of AI model, you can directly call those APIs from Agger Cognitive Services to train a model, to just use them. You can basically do whatever you want to do. Next page, please. So other than Business Central itself, we also have those Copilot features under different other modules. Sales is a very good one. For the sales Copilot features, it's helping you to generate all those emails. So you don't need to spend all of those time kind of writing up your own email. Colin, can we go to the next page, please? So it's helping you to generate those replies by analyzing the content that you receive. And all you need to do is just take a look at the email to maybe add your personal touch and send it out, or maybe reply to your customer. So it's really helping those sales team to save their time and have their energy focused on more important stuff. And another feature is, go to the next page, please, is to summarize the content that you have. After every single meeting, after the email, after all of those things that you received from a customer, sometimes you cannot remember what we really talked about. But with this AI feature, basically automatically help you to summarize what's being talked about. So you have that sort of hard copy where you can go into those key topics right away. And
this is no extra cost in Sales Enterprise, right? This is included.
That's a very good question. I actually don't have the answer for you, but we can definitely route this to your license.
The answer is yes, Tony. Sorry.
Okay, awesome.
I was just being coy there. Yes. So Viva Sales is included with Sales Enterprise. That's a $50 value. It's sold around $50 separately, but with Sales Enterprise, it's included.
Awesome. So with service, you also have the Copilot features, but for services, it's a little bit unique because customer service, you normally run into a situation where you need to talk to the representative. And we all know, we all experience that right now. We have all of those bots on those websites. They're going to be I would say, the front line customer kind of service. You talk to the bot, you get what you want, you get all your questions answered. If it doesn't if it's not enough, you then have the bot direct you to the live agent. But how do you come up with that technology? How do you come up with that bot to minimize your development effort, to kind of expedite the development process? So we have this Copilot for services in particular, where you can leverage Power Virtual Agent to build a bot very, very easily without writing a piece of code. Literally, you just have the bot point to a website and have that bot analyze all of those Q&As that you have on the website. It will generate a simple bot for you where you can use it. You can just embed it into your website if you really want, or you can add some additional kind of branches to your bot by literally just telling the Power Virtual Agent saying, I want to build a bot by doing certain things. So it understands that natural language, will build a bot based on the sentence that you just put in without writing all of those fancy codes. All right, next one, please. And the reason why I want to touch about the sales and the service Copilot is because of the integration I want to introduce you to. This is the native Dynamics 365 Sales and Business Central integration. It's been there for like roughly, I don't know, 6 or maybe 7 years. I cannot really remember the date when it first got published. But essentially what it does is kind of connects the two applications, connects the CRM piece and ERP piece. So you can see the records from another application, and also helps you to avoid those data duplication. You have one system that holds all of those data, and that system will become your system of truth. Because we always deal with the situations where we have the same record stored in multiple systems and we don't know which one has the latest information. And especially in SMB, it's very kind of common to see that they have small little kind of applications here and there. They don't even know which application is the starting point to putting all of those records, and as time goes by, it becomes messier and messier. So with the integration, you have those advantages, but also you can flow the data from one system to the other one. One common situation is you have your sales team putting the sales quote from CRM perspective under sales. And you want to make sure when a sales quote is approved by the customer, by the consumer, you want to push it over to your ERP system so your accounting team and finance team can capture those and do their planning, do their forecasting, and arrange the warehouse, arrange the shipment. So this is the beauty of that integration. And you have the sales quote converted to a sales order, go to another system. In this particular case, it will be from CRM to Business Central. And it will be processed by the warehouse team, by the shipment team. And once the product has been shipped out, you invoice that, and that information can also flow back into your sales application. So your sales team can rely on those information to analyze when can they get the commission. They have a full view of the customer history, so they can follow up with the customer for some future discussions. And this is just one use case, but sometimes you may also have your customer calling your accounting and finance team saying like, hey, I want to purchase this. Can you just place the order for me right away? And they will just go ahead and do it, right? So now in that situation, you also want to make sure the data can flow from your ERP to your CRM, to your sales system. So the sales team also are aware of all of those sales history that happened for that particular customer. So we are introducing those bi-directional integration between sales and Business Central. So it really kind of break the data boundary. So even though you're using two different applications, but data can flow between the two, but also it empowers your user. From partner perspective, it will be your consultants and architects to really understand how how to build a end-to-end solution, but also for your end customers, they can empower their employees under different department to also see records and information from the other system. And this technology has been existing for like 7 years, and we've been kind of adding new features to this integration all the time. And very good news, especially this year, it got announced at Directions this year, is we are also adding the attached license for those Business Central users or CE users. So right now, next page, please, Colin. So right now, you should be able to add Sales Enterprise and a Customer Service Enterprise as an attached license to Business Central Premium license. Previously, you only have Sales Pro, Customer Service Pro. We saw that's pretty limited, but right now with the Sales Enterprise and Customer Service Enterprise attached license, I hope that that can boost the sales and make sure your end users can get the most out of both CRM and ERP. And another one coming up in September is the Business Central Essential attached license to Sales Enterprise and Customers Enterprise. So it's kind of two ways.
And what's really exciting there, I just wanted to shout it out, is that you're giving users the ability to leverage some of the best AI features on both sides of the ERP and CRM side of the house for a really great price, which you weren't able to have before because of the Viva Sales being included with Sales Enterprise. I just thought I would mention that really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Previously with Sales Pro, it's very limited, but now it's definitely have more features that you can possibly use from CRM perspective. This is a quick screenshot to compare the two different licenses. You can easily see that Sales Enterprise is definitely winning the battle. Like I mentioned, the technology was there for like quite a long time. When I started learning all of those integration between two, we didn't have the attached license. So we literally need to buy the two full license in CRM and ERP. So it was pretty painful, but right now it's pretty good. It's a good deal, $20 for an attached license. So,
and in smaller businesses where folks are wearing a lot of hats and their responsibilities are very likely to cross the lines between ERP functionality and sales functionality, to me, this makes a lot more sense. It provides them productivity in both areas.
Exactly. All right, that kind of concludes everything that I wanted to share today. Pass over to you.
Thanks so much, Tony. Yeah, I really appreciate you giving us that the Microsoft view of things. I think it's an exciting opportunity to really increase productivity and provide those enterprise level features to folks in the mid-market. So quick question for the audience. This is another poll question. Do you see your clients, prospects, or for anybody who's on the line who maybe is a Business Central or sales user as well, do you see leveraging these offers in the short term? Does it make sense? Do you see and maybe part of this would be, do you see folks needing functionality on both sides who could benefit from these attached capabilities?
All right, we're collecting responses. We'll give folks 10 more seconds.
Thanks very much. Yeah, of course.
And then we'll share the results.
As we're doing that, I will say it's almost time for our excellent guest speaker coming up, and I'm going to give them the rest of the time. Let's introduce everybody. It's Erik Hougaard. Oh, sorry, very quickly. Yeah, so overwhelmingly people want to leverage this. I completely agree. I'm really looking forward to having these features enabled at Sherweb myself. I could always use the productivity boost. So sounds like a pretty strong consensus. All right, so let me introduce now Erik Hougaard from Efoqus. He's going to be, and Lars, Agger as well, are going to be telling us a little bit about one of their customers and some of the incredible success that they've had. So I will let you guys take it away. I will try and anticipate you for slide changes, but let me know if you need me to push it ahead, all right?
Otherwise, I was just say click.
That works. All good. Thanks, Erik.
Thanks, Colin. So I'm Erik, and I'm here today with, I don't know what side he's on, but Lars is also here, and we're from Efoqus. And I did not include Lars's name on this slide for whatever reason, but he's not included. Anyway, Efoqus, we are a almost exclusively Business Central, but we also do the other dynamics when we are in relation to Business Central in deals that includes Business Central. But we're Business Central ISV and VAR. We're located in Vancouver, and we have been cloud only for 4 years, basically since Business Central came out. And what I want to talk about here today, and you can click the slides, please, is the is app source. So app source is, and we should probably have had a poll saying, do you know app source? But app source is Microsoft's business marketplace for apps, and that includes apps for Business Central. And in reality, if you look, that there's 8,000 apps in total on AppSource, and then 3,800 of them are for Business Central. So Business Central is like the biggest app provider, the biggest player on the marketplace from a number perspective. And we as Efoqus, we have a bunch of apps up there, which we can see here. There's some examples. I'll mention some of these later, but we do a lot. And what I'm here to talk about today is the next slide, basically. So what we have seen is there's a shift happening. There's a shift happening in how an ERP project looks. So if we go back and look at the old style, any ERP project involving Dynamics Nav and the first few versions of Business Central, they were all development heavy. So Business Central and Nav, for that sake, has always been a great place to develop anything, and we have kind of the way that most partners are selling Business Central is with the, hey, we can make it do anything, and we truly can. But what we have seen over the last, I guess, year and a half, 2 years is a major shift that instead of us going out and developing everything, say, oh, we can do that, that's a custom development. Oh, we can do that, that's a custom development. We have basically adopted the, hey, there's an app for that kind of approach. So going into a project, there's almost like we have a phase in the big plan where now let's go look for apps that will solve the customer need. And what I have tried to do here with this graph, these two graphs, is saying that, hey, we see that suddenly development is a much smaller portion of a project, and the configuration and setup and all that stuff becomes the major component, to that degree that this is beginning to shape how we hire and how we set up our teams, because we now use way more consultants, we use more consultants and less developers than it, and it used to be the other way around. So there's a big transformation going on, and if you go to the next slide, this is real life. So we have a customer called Unified Alloys. We just did a a case study on them that you can find on our homepage. But they are a reseller of alloys, and they are 150 users on Business Central, and we have done lots of custom development for them. But if we look at this list and say, okay, they use the SharePoint connector from us, which enables document management. So documents are available inside Business Central and on SharePoint, and it's all connected. It's in the name, and that basically handles all the document management. Then they use the cloud replicator, also from Efoqus. I'm just going to mention our own apps first here. The cloud replicator enables us to take data from Business Central, replicate to an Azure-based database, do some slight data manipulation to make the data easier to work with from the Power Platform, especially from Power BI, and offload all the reporting to that, and does a lot of fancy things that I don't have time to mention here. Then they also use another Efoqus app called the Advanced Cloud Security, which enables us to do very specific setup of configuration. That some users can edit this field, and other users cannot edit that field. Or you can see a certain information, you cannot see a certain information, or some data is segregated, so I can only see finance that belong to my department, but not finance for another department, and stuff like that. Then they have a web interface, a web shop made with an app from Sana Commerce, and all sorts of online activities are done through that app. They have an app from Continia called Document Capture, which are incoming documents that are getting scanned and OCR'd, and also posted on the right accounts and all that good stuff. They have expense management also from Continia, which is a way to handle expenses. There's an app, so if somebody is out and using company money, they take a photo of the receipt and everything goes into Business Central and get posted and get approved and stuff like that. They have the toolbox from Hougaard.com, which is a helper thing, so they can go in and do stuff behind the scene because they are pretty IT savvy. And the last one on the list, I don't know why there's suddenly a space here. There shouldn't be. The last one on the list is an app called Navigate Pro, which enable more fancy navigation. So you're on a document and you can see how this document is connected through other documents and other postings and so on. And this is the approach that we see all customers are taking to different degrees. I don't even think that this is extreme. This is I think this is close to normal, maybe normal plus. That instead of going out and building and custom development and so on, go on app source, find an app, try it out, see if this is good. If they don't, get rid of it again. So with the concept of sandboxes, you can just get an app into the sandbox, you try it out. If you don't like it, get rid of it again. It's from somebody who has been in the ERP game for decades. This is truly revolutionary, and it's a whole new way from the perspective Lars and I as a Microsoft partner, a whole new way that we need to look at how we deal with the customers compared to how very technical the old way of dealing with nav was. So there's so many opportunities now here to upsell compared to Tony's slide about upselling Microsoft. There's lots of stuff outside it's still Microsoft because it's off app source, but it's from third-party vendors such as us.
Just one thing you could add to the app source the app source discussion, even in upgrades, when you got upgrades coming from NAV into BC upgrades, the fact that you got apps potentially allows you to retire old development that you'd have to move, that you didn't really want because you're touching areas that you don't really want to do, right? So you go into your app source and you find an app and said, okay, the old code that I had doing this, the new app can do that. I just toss the old code and off I go, which is a tremendous advantage for us.
So how has this changed your process with customers, Lars and Erik? This must have transformed requirements gathering during this and the sales process quite a bit. How do those conversations go now when you have folks coming to you with problems to solve?
Yeah, we've had some long, good discussions up front where we spend the time to not only look at the requirement from a BP perspective, but really sourcing the app source market and potentially having demos and showcasing to the clients what it actually can do, right? So I think the apps opportunity just becomes a natural element of the A&D before you build your FID, right? So the FID specifies saying, okay, do this. And then you got, for example, like Erik is listing here, the SharePoint connector, the cloud security, and could be an app from a third part as part of the overall solution, right? And I think people really, really appreciate it also based on the fact that you stay true to the core and you don't really deviate from the right upgrade path that you're on with the Microsoft Business Central platform.
It's also a lot of customers have tried going down the custom development route before, and know the cost of getting 100% solution and know the cost of maintaining 100% solution. And then you look you find an app and that might be an 80% solution or 90% solution, but then somebody's maintaining for you. There's a subscription fee, and you know what's going to cost, and looking at the long game, it may be way better both for your wallet and for your organization to be on a standard piece of software than paying the premium to be on on owning the 100% solution.
I always got the sense that people always think they're a lot more unique than they really are, and when they think their needs are unique, it's more because they've boxed themselves into a corner than that they are really particularly different from other businesses. Most business processes can be adapted to what's available. I think is what we're learning from this whole change in the marketplace.
And you're welcome to click. I think this was my last slide. So
yeah, this is where I get into talking with Tony, and I get into talking a little bit about paths to reselling BC. I want to say thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Lars and Erik, for joining us, helping us understand what's out there. I think for folks who are not sure how to get into reselling BC, we're going to talk about that a little bit. But knowing that there is so much functionality out there to add to Business Central that's already been built, I think really changes the calculus, because you don't need a team of developers to solve the business problems that aren't native in Business Central. You maybe just need a bit of development help and some key ISVs in your back pocket to deliver most of those scenarios. And I think 9 times out of 10 now, that's what we're seeing with Business Central. So, you heard it here first. Even big Business Central consultants like yourselves are moving over to an app model, providing apps that you built as well. So it's a great way to. It's also a great way to expand your business and your footprint with customers. Very cool. Thank you very much. And so let's talk a little bit about paths to reselling BC. We're not going to spend too much time on this because I think a lot of the folks on this call are already past that start. But I want to remind you all that, license reselling is one thing, but like Tony said, you're looking at the potential for 13 times the revenue from services as you are from licenses. The nice thing about licenses is that they provide you that recurring revenue trail, and they give you status with Microsoft to allow you to move up to the solution partner designation and all the fantastic benefits that come with that. If you're interested in pursuing your Microsoft solution partner designation for business applications, or for anything else for that matter, get in touch with us at Sherweb. We have some fantastic resources to help you make sure you're on track and navigate some of the complicated stuff there. Remember that some of the keys to growing as you do implementations and services, the more you can dedicate key resources to pre-sales, implementation, and support separate from each other, that separation of duties is really helpful to efficiency. As we said, the solution partner designation gets you a ton of benefits that helps you grow. So there are some. We're going to share these slides after with everybody, but there are some really great learning paths. Microsoft has really opened up the. Microsoft has really started to open up the vault in terms of providing training and learning resources to help you train folks on the product. And as we were hearing from Lars and Erik, it's less and less important that you have developers or people who are intimately familiar with Microsoft per se. More and more, you're needing people who are functionally qualified to comment on, to advise customers on operations and finance, and then enable that in the software versus having software experts guided by a bit of financial and operations expertise. You're able to be a more consulting-led business because of the focus on configuration and ISV solutions versus development. So there's a lot of folks out there. We think that it's a really big market for folks who are on Excel and QuickBooks and need to move to something that is secure, standardized with business logic and the capability to manage operations beyond just the chart of accounts, etc. A lot of folks on Excel and QuickBooks who need to level up. And that is always a good question to start asking if you're new to this area. And you'll find there's tons of people out there on Dynamics GP, Dynamics Nav, Dynamics SL even. Folks on those products still can be eligible for a 40% discount to move to the cloud. Get in contact with us if you want to learn more. It's a fantastic program to get folks migrated to the cloud, and it's a real mover. Helps defray some of those project costs to get that 40% discount. So I think your customers are going to love it if they are not aware of it already. So we're without spending too much time on this. This is where I want partners to be thinking. If you have a client base that is not just based on Business Central, say you're an MSP, or let's say you are a CRM implementer, and you want to start looking at potential to cross-sell. I say start with clients with high growth potential. Maybe they've got a funding round. Maybe they've got a new product line coming out. Maybe they have a new CEO with big plans and big targets. You never can tell what it's going to be, but you can see growth potential in the way they're changing, doing business, adopting new mandates. You can target clients with lots of transactions. If you're thinking about folks who are on QuickBooks, the complexity starts to mount. If you're doing it in Excel, God help you. All of a sudden, you're having to hire people to handle these manual processes, and it's just not effective, right? So also, there are still people out there with homemade ERPs from the early 90s that they built from scratch with the green screens and everything. You would be amazed at the number of very large companies with very, very many shareholders who are still working off solutions like that. And there's a lot of risk to working on a system that is on-prem, not being updated anymore, antiquated, lacking certain security parameters. There's a lot of potential risk there. And, there's a lot of opportunity cost to not adopting modern operations based in the cloud. So if you're thinking about those things, interacting with your customers, make sure you're asking business-oriented questions, right? There's a certain level of pain that comes with just the IT tech debt, but where customers, especially decision makers, are really going to feel the pain is, are customers mad? You know what I mean? Yeah, actually, let's look at my next slide. That's kind of where I have some of that here. Do they have really ambitious sales targets that they're not sure how to make? Are they being told they need to grow 50% year over year and are just not sure how they can meet that demand? Are their customers having bad experiences? There's nothing more stressful than having angry customers and being told, hey, you need to grow 50% year over year. Well, I can't serve the customers I have. These are the kind of situations that go beyond tech debt type pain and into real business pain, where you can help them solve this problem and create efficiencies that will allow them to build the capacity they need to grow and grow profitably. So think about what are they still doing by hand? I think every company has those few processes where they're like, are we really still doing it this way? Find out what those are, and you may find an opportunity to help them digitally transform. And opportunity cost is one of those things that sometimes people need to be made to see, draw their attention to it. It's easy to accept opportunity cost sometimes when you're too close to it, but if you can point it out to them, it's an insight that can sometimes lead to some action. So Sherweb can support you. We have a partner-to-partner network. If you are not selling Business Central, or if you are selling Business Central and want to expand into other areas, this is a place where we can help you. We can introduce you to partners who are interested in helping you grow your customer footprint. As we mentioned, there's a lot of potential income to go around between the services, the licensing, and all the additional benefits that come with adding customers. So we try and find those mutual wins for our customers and their partners. Whether you're an MSP or a Dynamics partner, there's something in this for you. It all depends on you, what's most important to you. So this is just an example of what your agreement can look like. And we'll try and help you find the right partner to work with, where you have that win-win situation. So get in touch. We're always happy to help you qualify out your deals. If you are a Dynamics partner, you're really focused on Business Central, but you're a trusted advisor to your customer, they come to you and ask you about solutions that you're not sure about, let us know. Don't turn down a deal. We'd love to help you make that happen. Whether that's Azure, whether they're asking about security, whether they're asking about backup, Office 365, all kinds of stuff we can help you with, and help you provide that to your customer on a convenient one invoice type basis. So let us know. So I think, you can get in touch with us, whether you want to contact your Sherweb account manager, or check out our some of our intake forms, or you can always reach me. I will very quickly throw my, I will try and throw my information. I will throw my information in the chat here. Actually, unfortunately, I don't see how I can do my info in the chat, but I'm at CMAHEU at Sherweb.com. So get in touch with me if you'd like to explore these opportunities. So I'm gonna I think I got to skip to the end. We're gonna send this out. We're running out of time, but we're gonna send all the information on the promos to help you create some urgency with your customers. And if you have any questions about the terms and conditions, sometimes it can be a little onerous, confusing, get in touch. We really try to make it as clear as possible and easy for you to go to market with. And so that's the end for now. And I'd say thank you very much to everybody who stayed on with us to learn a little bit about how Business Central is changing with AI. Thank you so much to our guest speakers, Tony, Erik, and Lars. We really appreciate you coming on and giving your perspective. It's given me a lot of ideas, and I'm really excited to see where the future takes us with Business Central. Thank you so much.